Hello, it's Ian Robert McKown again. I had talked earlier about maybe putting up a video of tinting a board or canvas, sort of a imprimatura, just to get some paint on the surface and get rid of some of this white. One of the problems with working on a white surface is that no matter what color you put on here, it's either going to look too bright or too dark or too saturated, and it's really hard for our eyes to judge value, color, or whatnot when we have such a stark contrast. So one of the things I like to do is knock it down a bit with just a little bit of a staining. Some people will do this with acrylic, some people will do it with oil. I prefer to do it with oil. I've noticed that some people will paint right on white canvas and it doesn't really present a problem, but for myself I just think it makes it a bit easier. Knocks down the brightness of this, makes it a little bit less jarring on the eyes, and it just helps out my final product. You know, if I have a little bit of underpainting leaking through here and there on the composition, it actually helps to unify the piece a bit. So anyways, this is a piece of gesso board that I primed earlier, added a bit of texture to it. It's a bit too smooth, and now I'm going to go ahead and stain it a bit to get it ready for painting. So anyways, I like to use myself neutral grays or sometimes kind of warmish colors, but nothing too red or too yellow. That's just a personal preference. You could probably do this with anything. I like to use Gamblin. It's a pretty reasonable brand as far as price-wise, and it goes a long way, especially for this kind of thing. I typically use Sennelier or Old Holland to do the actual paintings. So, as well as I'll be using distilled turpentine today. A lot of people have a problem with this. It kind of can, I guess some people are sensitive to it, to the fumes. It can kind of make their mucous membranes act up or something crazy. I don't know. I don't have that issue, but distilled turpentine can be a really good thing for you if that's what you want to use. As well as a lot of people use Gamsol. I tend to use the turpentine over Gamsol. Gamsol is just sort of if you're painting in polite circles and you don't want to offend anyone's nostrils, you know. Anyway, so the way I start out, I just get a bit of paper towel or toilet paper, whatever, sometimes a shop rag, and I'll just get a little smidge of color on there. You know, you don't have to go too aggressive with it. This isn't a big piece, so just a little smudge. That might even be a bit too much. I'll go ahead and close this back up. And then, you know, even though these fumes don't really bug me, I'll probably go set this outside to kind of air out when it's done. Anyways, I'll pour some turp on here and just kind of soak it up a bit, and then I'm going to go ahead and work on the surface. Essentially, I'm just looking to get a little bit of stain in there. This is a bit heavy compared to what I normally do, but it's fine. Once I know I've got a decent amount on there, usually I'll get a second towel and I'll put a bit of turp on there. And I'll go ahead and wipe away some of this. You know, I don't like it to be too dark when I'm working. I like to be able to see my lighter values. You can be kind of light about this. You know, you don't want to rub it completely away. You know, feel free to kind of go on the sides here and make a little bit of movement with your background, with texture. You know, it doesn't really matter. You're going to be painting into this directly, so all you're really trying to do is make an area where, specifically I'm trying to make an area where I can paint in here and not worry so much about that area right there. It already makes kind of a background for me. It's going to kind of smooth this up a bit. And I'm kind of good to go. You're going to find little bits of paper towel sort of bubble up on this. But it's already got, see if I can zoom in here, it's already got some interesting textures. And that came from the gessoing process. But probably what I'll do is I'll use this area here for my brightest lights on this piece that I'm doing, which is going to be a rose, and then just kind of let it descend in the dark down here. Obviously I'm going to paint right over the top of this, but this gives me a good start. It's already knocked down some of the color, or the brightness of the white, and it enables me to kind of get to work with some values straight away. Usually let this breathe for 20-30 minutes so it's nice and dry, and then you can get to work. Thanks for watching.